Hey everyone, welcome to That's Good Denver. I'm your host, Chris Romeo. And yeah, I know it's been a couple weeks now, since probably even 3 weeks since I've actually had a YouTube video where I've broken down one of my Denver sports teams. The reason that being is because I just got done with finals for my first semester of my junior year this past week. I did pretty well in my finals, I would say. My lowest grade was a C-, and I got B's in the rest of my classes. So right now I'm on Christmas break, so I should be able maybe to upload more often and stuff. I'll have a part-time job at Domino's too. Yeah, sorry I haven't uploaded in a while, and the last video I did was like a me singing video about how bad the Broncos season has been when they were 3-8, now they're 3-10. Which, I mean, the last Broncos loss where they lost to the Chiefs, that loss wasn't as bad. Russel Wilson actually played pretty well. But in this video, I'll be breaking down how the Nuggets have done so far this season. So, I'm not going to break down every game because I haven't broke down the Nuggets game since they played the Pacers in Indianapolis, and that was a month ago. So I haven't broken down any of the Nuggets games the past month. So I'll break down the Nuggets, how they've done, and I'll even break down the Avalanche, how they've done, even though I haven't followed hockey as much. So the Nuggets, they're 16-10. They're at third place in the West. They were at second place in the West, right behind the Suns. They were almost in first place in the West for a while, until they lost a few games. So yeah, the Nuggets, until they had a 3-game losing streak last week. They lost to the Hawks, the Pelicans, and I think it was the Mavericks at home on TNT. It was a great game, 116-115. Luka Doncic went off. So did Tim Hardaway Jr. They lost that game 116-115. Then after the 3-game losing streak, they played the Portland Trail Blazers on Thursday, and they won that game 121-120. That was a great game. Damian Lillard had 40 points for the Trail Blazers, and Jamal Murray, after a slow start in the first half, went off in the fourth quarter. So the Nuggets were down 121-18 with 6 seconds left. Jamal Murray had the ball, step back for three, hits the three with .9 remaining to give the Nuggets a 121-120 lead. Right after Damian Lillard hit another three-pointer. Then the Nuggets were able to get a stop on defense, and they were able to hold on to win 121-120. That was clutch by Jamal Murray to give the Nuggets that win to end their 3-game losing streak. Then in the last game, they won their last game. I'm trying to think of who they played. Who did they play? I think it was Saturday. Yeah, Saturday against the Jazz at home. They won that game 114-110. It was a close game throughout. I was working then, and I had it on my phone. So I wasn't able to get everything from that game, but it was a tight game throughout the first quarter. Then the Nuggets had a 9-point lead going into halftime. Jokic and Jamal Murray were the two leading scorers, and Bones Highland had a good game. Then the Jazz were coming back. Our offense went really cold in the third quarter. The Jazz were able to come back, able to take the lead in the fourth quarter, up by 4, 97-93. Then we were able to get some stops. The Jazz went about 5 minutes without scoring, and Jokic and Murray were able to take over, and the Nuggets eventually got the dub. I think it was 114-110, and that puts the Nuggets at 16-10. They did drop from second in the West to 6th in the West, because the standings in the West in the NBA season, even though it's really early still, have been insanely tight. And that right now the Nuggets at third in the West, at 16-10. The Grizzlies are at second in the West. Memphis Grizzlies, we're a game behind them. The New Orleans Pelicans are at are first in the West right now. They're looking really good at 18-9. Their roster is just insane. Zion Williamson is back, CJ McCollum, and Nuggets are actually ahead of the Suns right now. And the Suns are at fourth in the West. They're about a half game behind the Nuggets. They've lost a couple games to the Pelicans. So, I mean, can't complain much about the Nuggets' start to the season. They just got to keep winning the games, and, hopefully they can climb their way up in the standings, which is going to be tough, especially for how loaded the West is. You still can't count out teams like the Warriors, who are off to a slow start this year. Late in the year, they'll get going. Got teams like the Warriors, the Mavericks, and the West is just so good. And you have surprise teams like the Pelicans. And so, I mean, you know, I think as long as the Nuggets stay healthy in the regular season and stuff, they should have a decent seed, hopefully. And then when come playoff time, hopefully, you know, we can make a run in the playoffs and, you know, hopefully make it to our first ever NBA Finals and maybe win our first NBA Finals, you know, depending if we play the Celtics or Bucks in the NBA Finals. But, yeah, we have a lot of work to do as a team. You know,
turn left onto US 35.
Sorry if you guys hear my GPS right now because I'm actually driving to my grandma's right now. This is how busy I've been lately. I've been working, finished up finals, and now I'm, you know, going to my grandma's to have dinner with her. So, you know, I've been pretty busy. So with the Nuggets, you know,
continue on US 35 south for 5 miles.
They're top contributors. If I can talk, contributors this season. I've been, you know, Jamal Murray has been really good. Nikola Jokic is still their best player, even though he hasn't been scoring as much. Kentavious Caldwell-Pope out of nowhere has been scoring very well this season. Micheal Porter Jr. has been good when he's played. I forgot to mention him. Micheal Porter Jr. has been hurt lately. He's been taking some time off. Hopefully we can get him back in the next month or so we can, you know, have him for the playoffs, because that's what's hurt us the past couple of years, not having Jamal Murray and Micheal Porter Jr. for the playoffs. But yeah, Shaquille O'Neal or Shaq on TNT has the Nuggets coming out of the West and winning it all this year, so that's pretty exciting. And then for the Avalanche, you know, I've been following hockey as much, kind of for a grain of salt. They've been kind of up and down, like the Nuggets in some ways, but it's still early in the season, you know. They're coming off the Cup last year, winning the Stanley Cup Finals. Go Avs! And Nathan McKinnon's having a good year, and you know they got a new goalie this year. They traded their goalie from last year. So the Avalanche, are like 4th in the West, or 4th in their conference. And you know, they're pretty good, I would say. You know, they've definitely got a chance at winning the Cup again this year, depending on how healthy they stand, depending on the competition they have in the playoffs. You know, I'm not sure how much better these other teams in the NHL have been doing. But yeah, Nuggets and the Avalanche, both off to really good seasons. Sorry, my throat is getting dry. But yeah, somebody's got to make up for how bad the Broncos have been this year, because they're 3-10, even though they looked better in their last game against the Chiefs, losing 34-28. You know, they're 3-10. They're playing for a draft pick now, but the thing that sucks is, you know, they traded all their draft picks for that Russel Wilson trade. So it's their next 5 years is going to depend on how Russell Wilson does, which I think he'll get going eventually. He's too good of a quarterback, and Russell Wilson's having his worst year as a quarterback. But, yeah, at least the Denver Nuggets, which I'm rocking the Jamal Murray jersey. At least the Denver Nuggets are doing good. And the Colorado Avalanche, you know, hopefully they can win the Cup again. Maybe the Nuggets can win their first ever championship this year. That would be awesome, bro. That would be awesome. Yeah, it's too bad the Broncos have had a bad year. They're already eliminated from the playoffs. And yeah, but that's it, everybody. That's just a quick update on how my Denver sports teams have been doing, and update on my life. I've just been busy with work at Domino's, been busy with school, ending school, and you know, busy with Christmas break and Christmas plans with family. But that's it, everybody. I'm Chris Romeo, and I want to say Broncos Country, let's ride, but it's hard to say since we're 3-10. I guess Broncos Country, let's ride, but go Avalanche, let's win the Cup again. Go Nuggets, let's win our first ever championship, hopefully.